patty paper and try to feel the rougher of the two sides, and that's the side we're going to draw on. Okay? And then what I would like you guys to do is to actually just go ahead and we're going to trace this shape right here. So now, let me pass out some straight edges because I bet you guys are going to want to have nice lines. Alright, 1 second, let me go run and get the straight edges because we're going to...
Do you want to do it in the middle of it?
Yeah, in the middle of the
What's the page number? 84. 84. How did that get through? Always have the same number, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Do we finish that line too? I would. I think you can redo it. You okay? Can I read your hair?
My neighbor has the floor.
Oh, poor guy.
Yep.
Hey. Oh no, delete that. No. Oh, yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
No, it was on her school. It was on my floor.
That can't be good.
Yes.
Take one and pass it down.
I feel like he's stressed out. He loves it. Oh, poor guy. Because I can't see over his head.
Not it'll work. We don't have to. We're not doing. What's that? Oh, you need one, right?
Are we tracing the line too?
Yes.
Let me have that. No, let me have that phone.
All right. So please do use a straight edge. It'll be nicer. Okay, it'll come out better, I think.
What if you already drew it? Wait, how do we know which one's the rougher side?
Feel it. Feel up Patty. Scrap Patty. Start feeling the color.
All right, Derek. Thank
How do
you.
you trace the line? They feel the same. Yeah, they feel the same.
If they feel the same, then that's fine. Go ahead and do whichever side your heart desires. Well, I'm sorry. Do whatever your heart desires as far as which patty paper set you choose to draw on. I should be more specific. Okay, and go ahead and let's label those points too, also important. Okay, and then that's our little line, cursive L. Okay, so you got something like that. Okay. So now to reflect this shape, okay, so we want to take this quadrilateral, right, A, B, C, D, and we want to reflect it over line L. Okay, so what can we do to do that using our patty paper? We're going to fold it. You can kind of see it kind of hinted at here, right, in the next direction. We're going to fold along the line L. So take your paper and fold it along line L. Okay. Fold the patty paper along line L. See, like that. Fold the patty paper along line L. You can fold the whole paper too if you want, or just on the line there, that's fine. Okay? Fold it over line L. Okay? Yes?
Is this good?
Yeah, it looks good. Okay? Alright, so now what you're going to do is you're going to, and again, when you have it folded, you're going to take this lower kind of flap and fold it over your original, okay? And so now we have a piece of patty paper on top of our original, and we're going to then retrace, okay? You can kind of see through it, right? You can see through the patty paper there. Just trace the points out.
Why can't you draw the whole shape?
Well, because it's kind of, it's not necessary. We just need the points for right now. So again, one more time here. Shh, you need to listen. Okay? Here's our line of reflection. You're going to fold the bottom part of the paper up over your original shape, original quadrilateral, and you're going to trace these points there. Now, what's the point of that? Because then when we unfold it, we can now see these points, right? We can see these points kind of through the patty paper there. So we're going to like kind of like darken them in and then connect the dots.
Carl, what is that?
That's R.
Not R.
Shh. No need to talk, guys. Thank you. All right.
Mine just looks different.
Hey, it looks like mine.
Okay.
Yours looks different than mine.
Listen, please. Shh. Okay, this is just an exercise. Relax if you didn't get it perfect. It's okay. It's just an exercise. Okay? So this is one way we can kind of perform a reflection, right, is to come up with the shape like so. Okay, now, we should label these points, though, because they're transformed, right? So, for example, this point right here, it transformed. What was its original point?
A.
This point right here, it was not A. B was the original point, right? Look across the line of reflection. Look across the line of reflection there, and it's point B. So what should we name this point then? B prime. Very good. Exactly right. B prime, because it's been transformed from B. Okay? This point right here, what should we name it? A prime. Again, it is opposite point A there. Shh. Please raise your hand if you have a question, and let me finish talking. Okay? And so then point D, okay, what is this point going to be named right here? D prime. Okay, D prime. Okay, and then this point right here, which is also called C, is also C prime. So maybe I should put like a C here and a C prime. Okay, so now why did point C not move? It was on the line. Thank you, Zari. Exactly right. The point was on the line of reflection, and we'll talk about symmetry later. It's similar to that. Okay. Since C is on the line of reflection, it does not go anywhere. Okay. B is here though; it reflects to there. A is there, reflects to A prime, and D reflects to D prime. That's right. Okay. So that's a reflection. Okay, in its basic kind of form there. Okay. Let me see here. Do we have... Okay, so we're going to look at page 75 here. Okay, we're going to try some reflections using the coordinate plane. You can keep your patty paper, keep the image on there if you'd like. Okay. Okay, I'm not taking flex requests right now, so because I'll ask at the end of class though. All right, I'll ask at the end of class, but I'm not taking flex requests right now. Okay. So the directions here for number 5 and 6 say to draw the image of triangle ABC after a reflection across line L. Okay, so here we're in the coordinate plane, but we're not necessarily there's no x or y axis here. We're just going to go ahead and just reflect this over this kind of randomly drawn line here. Okay, so to do that, we have kind of some options. Okay, some of you might be able to kind of eyeball where these points need to go. I have a little bit of trouble with that. So what I'm going to do instead, okay, is I'm going to take my patty paper. All right, to use the patty paper, you're just going to place your patty paper. Okay, and we're going to trace. Just like we did before, we're going to trace the line of reflection.
Does it matter where on your patty paper you draw it?
So when it comes to where to draw it, you actually we actually, it doesn't matter too much. We actually don't really need to even fold this. I'm going to show you one way to do this without even folding it. So as long as you can get both the line and the shape on your patty paper, you can draw it wherever you want. So again, go ahead and trace the line and then the shape as well. Okay, and again, I would suggest using your straight edge, just for your own benefit there. And put dots at the end points of your line. So you see little arrows there, put dots over the arrows of your line of reflection. That'll help us line things up correctly. Okay, so I know it's a line, but we're going to put dots there just to help us line things up. Okay, and then we're going to, and you don't need to trace the whole shape, just the points are enough. Just the points are enough. You don't need to trace the whole shape, just the vertices are enough. Okay.
The L per line should now be an S.
Or I guess so, kind of, yeah. But we're gonna leave it the way it is. Okay. So there are points. So if I shift this slightly, you can kind of see. Right there are the points. Yeah. Okay. Now, without folding this, we're gonna do a reflection. And here's how we do that. We're just gonna take our paper and flip it over. And match the line of reflection back up. So match up your little end points there, right? And you'll see that you can see the points.
I need like a paper ring.
Wait, how did you do that?
So again, all I did, I had my original. Look here, guys. I had my original, trace, and I just flipped my paper over and lined up my line of reflection there. Okay. So again, the dots that were the endpoints, I lined those back up where the arrows were, basically. And now you can see we have these three dots. They've transformed. But it's like, how do we get these dots onto our paper? Well, if you draw on those dots, okay, if you draw on the back of those dots, they transfer to your paper. And then you can darken them in.
I just tried that.
Well, try darkening. So try, if it didn't work, try going back, Ikeba, to your original, and then darken those points in some more. Darken the original vertices in some more, and then flip it over and try it again.
I found another way before you...
It should line up. Okay? So there it is.
I just put my pencil on one of the points, and I kept it there, and I lifted up just gently and pulled my paper.
And you can do it that way, absolutely. You can absolutely do it that way.
My paper's protected.
Okay. You might be drawing on the waxy side, I don't
No, I'm
know.
not.
And then connect the dots.
I'll try it again.
Okay? And then we need to name this. So, let's see here. I'm going to go to... Alright, so Billy, what would the name of this point be right here? I'll zoom in some because it's kind of hard
It's
to
not
see
working for me.
Okay, what would be the name of this point right here? We transformed it from A, so it's A prime. Okay, very good. Let's see here. And then, Jordan, what would be the name of this point right here? What did it transform from? C, so it's going to become C prime, right? And then what about this point? We'll go to Derek. What's this point's name?
That would be B prime.
B prime, thank you. Okay? Questions on any of that? So there's a reflection using patty paper.
Optimus Prime.
Yes, Optimus Prime, he's a transformer too. Okay.
Oh, so he transformed.
That's right, that's why he's called Optimus Prime.
Wait, so why do they call him Optimus Prime? Because of that tag?
Optimus, because he's the best transformer. Optimus, the best. Optimal, Optimus, best transformer. Optimus Prime.
He's really the only prime.
Okay, yeah, you guys didn't know that Optimus Prime's name actually meant transformation, but okay, there it is. Alright, anyway.
Wait, I got this. Does that look right to you? I don't think it does.
Alright, I'll come help you. I think you might have flipped your paper the wrong way. You might have flipped it looks like you did, it looks like you did this, and then you did something like, I'm not sure what you did. It looked like you flipped it
No,
down
I
to
went
there
like
or
this.
something.
I went like this,
And then flip it over.
and I went like this.
Oh, you rotated it. You rotated it. You gotta flip it. This is a reflection. It's a flip.
Oh,
Flip your paper over, yeah. Okay, I want you guys to try this next one, number 6. Now, number 6, it still works here, but you got to be careful. A and B, they're going to reflect which direction? To the left or to the right?
To the right.
They're going to reflect to the right. Where is point C going to reflect to, though?
To the right. What isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to reflect over to the left, so be careful. AB is going to reflect over to this side, C is going to reflect over to this side, so be careful. But again, it's the same principle. Use your patty paper, so go ahead, try number 6. Okay, try number 6.
Are we doing the same technique?
Yep, you can use same technique. Yep, same thing, still works.
So, we're just doing like this, we're flipping it? So we have
Flip your paper. Yeah, you still got to draw the line reflection, redraw the points, and then flip your paper over.
Wait, how do we do it? Oh, never mind.
It's the same principle, everybody, same principle. So go ahead and try this one, like I said. All right.
So like this.
All right, sorry.
No, like this.
Yep, and then flip your paper. And then line it back up. And then draw on the back of the points. So yeah, so there's your paper. Now flip it. Line up your line. And then draw on the back of your points. And you can connect it off. So, sorry, these points. Draw on the backs of the points, the original points. There you go. Try it there. There you go. And then when it goes away, there are your points. Okay? So then just check the dots and label them A prime, B prime, C prime, however it should go there. All right, how are we doing here? Having trouble?
That's 8 prime.
Okay, so again, trace your line of reflection, trace just the vertices. You don't have to do the actual like shape. Okay, good. Okay, that's not quite right. I'll show you here. That's not
I'll
quite
have my
right.
own
That looks
spot.
good. Okay. So again, you got to trace straight. Now flip it over. Line back up the line, and then just copy those, like, draw on the points there, and it should transfer. What's that? You hold it, and that's fine too. That's good. Oh boy. Okay, there you go. Very good. Carrie looking nice. Yes. Cable off. Good job, Garrett. Yes, good. Jordan, okay, great. So you've got it copied. So now once you copy it, you reflect, you flip it, right? That's where reflection is, the flip. Flip your paper over, line the line back up, and then just draw on the back of those points, okay? And that'll copy it over there. Transfer that over to your paper.
Is this right? Correct?
You flipped it.
Wait, what choose a
Flip it like this.
nothing beats your other one
Got lines
though.
up, those are your.
Nothing beats your other Air Force ones though.
So I just put it in the wrong.
Yeah.
There's other ones that just like
Oh. I don't understand.
Huh?
You got a copy the line, copy the vertices. Okay, and then just like, where's that off? Yeah.
I don't think you've ever going to parachute.
No, I used to, I trace it, I used to get it. Okay, so, alright, well, let's go now, come on, let's do this. Remember what you waiting for, buddy? Paper fell, how many excuses? Okay, very good. Yeah, looks good, Billy, how do you do? Looks good, sir, awesome job, well done. Okay, guys, listen up. Here we go. We're going to look at this one now real quick. Some people had some difficulty, so we're going to like go over it again, okay? So, again, first thing you want to do, put your patty paper down, trace out that line of reflection. You do not need, and let me repeat that, you do not need to draw the entire shape. All you need are the vertices. That's the most important point. Or those are the most important points. Shh. Listen, please. Ramel, you need to pay attention. No, you're not. Listen up. Skylar, don't mess with him out. He needs to pay attention, okay? Because he didn't do it. You know you weren't. You need to pay attention because he didn't do it, okay? Shh. So, on your shape, you color in, you darken in the vertices, okay? Like so. Point A, point B, point C, okay? Then all you got to do is, again, flip your paper over. Okay, line back up your line of reflection, and you can see where the dots end up, right? And then just color in on the back of the dots. And then they transfer over. Now you can barely see, it's very light, but you can kind of see those two at least, and then you just connect the dots. Okay, I should use a straight edge here, but I'm just going to use my eye. Okay, so there it is. We need to label these points though, right? That's important. This point is point what? Anybody? A prime. This one is B prime, and this one is C prime. We get a nice little butterfly looking shape there almost, okay? Pretty butterfly. Okay? So, here are some coordinate notations. If you go to turn to the next page, please.
Is that page 37?
76. Page 76, please. Next page. Page 76. Page 76. Okay, now, we're just going to look through this here. We're not actually going to do this one, but I need you to pay attention, follow along. Okay? So you'll see here that we have some summarized rules for reflections in the coordinate plane. Before, okay, we could just kind of use our patty paper to freehand it. We were in coordinates, but there was no XY axis, so we couldn't really come up with points here. When we do have coordinates, though, when we do go to the XY axis like this, okay, we can use this coordinate notation. And so here are the different ones. Reflecting across the x-axis is like this. Reflecting across the y-axis is like that. And then there's the reflection across the line y equals x, and reflection across the line y equals negative x. But I think the main three we're going to focus on are these first three. Okay, we're not going to worry too much about the line y equals negative x. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So this first one asks us to reflect the figure with the given vertices across the given line. So M has coordinates 1, 2, N has coordinates 1, 4, P has coordinates 3, 3. So they plot M, N, and P right here, and we're going to reflect it across the y-axis. Now, you could use this rule here if you wanted to. Okay, we're reflecting across the y-axis, so you could use this rule on these points, and they did. Okay, but do we really need to do that? Not really, right? Because here's the thing. If we're going to reflect, here's our line of reflection right here. Okay, this is it, the y-axis. If point N is right here, how can I figure out where N prime is? What do I need to do? Any ideas? I'm going to flip it over, or we can even just count the distance, right? Here's the thing. How far is N away from my line of reflection? It's 1 unit away. And so if I'm 1 unit away this direction, I need to go 1 unit away in the other direction. There's N prime, right? N is 1 to the right, so N prime will be 1 to the opposite side, to the left, right there. So there's N prime. Okay, M is also 1 unit away, so 1 unit in the opposite direction is M prime. And then P is how many points away? Well, 1, 2, 3. So P prime will be 1, 2, 3 away as well. And so there's the transformation without actually having to go through all the calculations there. Okay.
So when we're doing a test or a quiz, will those rules be given to us?
So no, the rules will not be given to you. Okay. So so here's the thing though, Ikeba, you don't necessarily have to have them memorized. For example, I just showed you here for letter A. If we're flipping over the y-axis, we don't really even need the rules. We can just do it. But for the line y equals x, it's a little bit trickier. Okay. But like I said, for this one, notice what happens. We're flipping it over the line y equals x, and if you look at your rule here, what happens? xy becomes what? Just yx. So basically, all these coordinates are just going to flip, okay? So if we're going to go over the line y equals x, xy, and we're going to fill this table in, xy becomes yx, okay? So if D has coordinates 2, 0, D prime will be what?
0, 2.
0, 2. Okay. If E has coordinates 2, 2, E prime has become 2, 2. Okay. 5, 2 becomes 2, 5. And 5, 1 becomes 1, 5. Okay. So the line y equals x is actually pretty easy to reflect over. You just flip the coordinates. You just flip the
I have a
coordinates.
question real quick.
Question.
What says that we have to flip it backwards? Like the points.
What says that? Because we're reflecting over this line, y equals x. So when you're reflecting over the line y equals x, that means you just flip the x and y coordinates. Okay? And it makes sense, right? Y is equal to x, so it's like the idea is you're flipping them. Okay? Y is equal to x there. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and plot these. So let's go ahead and plot the original D, E, F, G. So D is 2, 0. E is 2, 2. F is 5, 2. 5, 1, 2.
Isn't 2, 0 on the y line? I'm sorry, that's probably really stupid.
We're graphing these points. We're graphing the original points. Then we're going to graph the image. So 2, 0. 2 is the x coordinate, and then 0.
Okay.
Right. We just talked about the prime point there, and that's probably what threw you off. Okay, you connect the dots if you want. Okay. And then, yep. And then once you have the original graph, go ahead and let's draw the reflection, okay? The reflected points across the line y equals x. So 0, 2, and that's D prime. 2, 2 is E prime. 2, 5, F prime. And then G prime is 1, 5. Okay, connect the dots.
That's a rotation.
It looks like a rotation, but it's not.
It's not?
No,
Oh,
it's
it
a
is
flip,
a flip.
right? Because
It
you
is
see,
a
if you were to
flip.
rotate that, they would not line up because the orientation is kind of
Right,
changed.
right.
So now again, notice E and E prime, those coordinates stay the same. Why do you think that is true? This point E is on the line of reflection. If we draw the line y equals x, here's the line y equals x, and I'll do it in red so it's kind of like stands out. Okay, here's the line of reflection. Here's the line y equals x.
Oh, yeah, they just.
So you can see the point E is on the line of reflection, so it won't move. It won't move. Yes. Okay.
There could be a rule where, like, when you're reflecting stuff, like, if you're trying to label if it's reflection, translation, or rotation, so if there's 2 points connected, like E and E prime, like that, that's a reflection most likely. And
I'm trying to think. Well, here's the other thing. If you have a rotation, and if your point E is also on the point of rotation, it's not going to move either. So you got to be careful. But yes, if for at least you know it's not a translation because translation they always move. They never overlap.
Do rotations have overlapping points?
Like I said, a rotation could if the center of rotation is point E, for example. If you're rotating about point E, then E prime will also be there as well. But for the most part, otherwise though, for the most part, EKB, you're going to be right. If the point E and point E prime stay the same point, for the most part, it will be a reflection. It will be a reflection. Okay? Okay, so let's take a look at then how we can do this, right, on our own. So here's kind of where on our own here, we're going to do this first one. Okay, we're going to skip number 10 because, like I said, we're not going to worry about the line y equals negative x. Okay? But let's go ahead and do this one. So let's plot these points. So go ahead and get these points plotted. Okay? So S is coordinates 3, 4. T has coordinates 3, 1. Okay, U has coordinates negative 2, 1. And V has coordinates negative 2, 4. Okay, and so we have this nice little
Do you think we could still make up our little chart? Like,
shape here. You could, absolutely. If you want to make your little chart, you can.
I can't do math in my head.
Well, I would say there's no real calculations necessary for this one.
Well, there kind of is, because if y, what's the point if y was negative, then you're going to have to do parentheses negative, parentheses negative.
Oh, but what I'm saying is you can eyeball this one. So
Well,
again,
yeah, you can eyeball that.
well, yeah, once we have that, so therefore you really don't need then to do your actual calculations. I'm saying because all we are asked to do is reflect the figure, so we're just going to reflect it. That's all we need to do over the x-axis.
You have to do math to reflect it.
No, you do know.
Well, kind of, but again, let me show you, EK. It's really not that bad. So again, once you got your shape drawn, I highlighted our line of reflection there, the
You can do it just by
x-axis.
looking at it.
Okay, yes, most of you guys should be able to do this with just by looking at this, okay? So, for example, point T, I'll wait for you guys because I still see some people drawing there, so I'll hold off, okay? Okay. So, point T here, okay, we're going to reflect that one first. Now, again, if you look, here's our line of reflection. Okay, there's our line of reflection. And so, where is T going to end up moving? Where's it going to reflect to? Can anyone kind of like predict that? So, yeah, it's at currently 3 positive 1. It's got to reflect across the line here. It's 1 above, so it's got to go 1 below. So it's going to go right there. Yeah, exactly right. And then we'll call that T prime, right? And then S is 1, 2, 3, 4 units away. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 units away in the opposite direction. S prime. Okay. Same thing with U. U is 1 above, so U is going to become 1 below. We'll call that U prime. And then V is 1, 2, 3, 4 above, so 1, 2, 3, 4 below. And that's V prime. And again, just connect the dots. Bless you. Okay. Did our rectangle here, did it change size? Nope. Did it change shape? Nope. So it's a rigid motion transformation, right? And it's a reflection. Okay, it's a reflection. Okay. So there it is. All right, last thing here. Last thing I want to show you guys. So any questions on that? Okay. So we should end up with something like that. Okay, you guys also, since we know that a reflection does not change length of the sides or the shape, if you get point T and you know that S is 3 units away from point T, you can also just count 1, 2, 3 units away and get S prime that way. Likewise, for V prime, if you know V is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units away from S, you can go 5 units over, and that'll get your V prime there as well. So you can kind of use that to your advantage.
I always forget to do the points.
Oh, yeah.
I always forget to write down the
Don't forget to name them, yeah. Mm-hmm. You
So for number 10, do you think, like, I should just, like, do the calculations?
So number 10, I would do the calculations, but like I said, we're not going to worry about the y equals negative x line. I'm only going to worry about reflecting over x-axis, y-axis, and the line y equals x.
So
We may reflect over other horizontal or vertical lines, but yeah, for right now.
what are you changing?
So number 10, we're not going to do number 10. We're not going to do number 10.
we're
We're not going to do it. Oh, you did? Well, cool. But we're not going to do it. That's okay. So we're going to move on to this one more thing here. Sorry, what I meant by the one more thing, we're trying to find the lines of reflection. Okay? So for example, here you can clearly see we have some reflections, right, there and there. But it's a matter of where is line of reflection? Well, we can kind of like eyeball it, right? We can kind of see that, maybe it goes like in through the middle there.
I found it.
Okay? But here, let me show you a way to use your patty paper to get a precise line. Shh. Let me show you how to use your patty paper to get a precise line of reflection. So what you want to do with your patty paper is, again, find some kind of like blank, space that you can trace both shapes. And you really only need to trace the points. So I'm just going to do these points here.
But we should label them.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea to label them. Okay, but you only need to trace the points. So A, B, and C. B prime, A prime, C prime. So again, all you gotta do is trace the points, like I did right there. You don't actually need to draw the shapes. Okay, and this could get confusing if you have like a lot of points and stuff already on your paper, I understand, but okay. Yeah, it kind of gets right. I do too. Okay, once you have those points traced, fold your paper so that the points match up. So A should go on top of A prime, B on top of B prime, C on top of C prime. So fold your paper so the points match up.
Thank you.
Yeah, and if you want to look through like the light, that sometimes helps as well. If you hold your paper up to like the light, that'll help you fold it correctly. And then once you've got that, put a crease in your paper.
So what if the other points aren't matching?
All the points should match up. All of them should match up. Okay?
Oh,
And then you get this nice little crease. that's your line of reflection, but we've got to transfer that. So we're going to draw, I'm going to darken in that line of reflection. I'm going to use like my pencil here. I'm going to go ahead and darken that crease. Okay, like so. Okay. And you can flip your paper over then and line up those points, and there's your line of reflection. So, you know, however you want to draw it. Okay. Let's see where I put my pencil. It's hot. Okay. So there's your line of reflection. How can we get that on our paper? Well, you can like, if you want to, you can kind of like see some points here, and then just like pull your paper back, and then just draw. Okay. Or you can flip your paper over and transfer the line by tracing on the back of it. You know, like so. Okay, and that should transfer your line.
How did you draw the line up?
So we fold the paper, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you got it lined up, and so then that fold is your line of reflection. And so then on that line of reflection, you want to draw some points to transfer, and then you just flip that back over, line up the points again, and that creates a line there. And we can just kind of like draw on the line. Yes. We will have homework. Yes, I'll get you guys some more patty paper here in a second. Okay, so for your homework tonight.
Is that on the book?
Yes.